Hey everybody, as expected, games journalists are at it again with another display of disgusting bias and dishonesty. In my previous video about the truth behind the attacks from games media towards Black Myth Wukong, their developers, and ourselves, the players, I mentioned how this had nothing to do with the false allegations fabricated by IGN. Yes, again IGN. And then spread out like a wildfire all across the internet via a bunch of other biased games and general entertainment media outlets, in an attempt to smear the game and the studio to the public and to potential future investors and business partners. The allegations were mainly about sexism and general creepy behavior within the studio, which IGN mistranslated on purpose, and a deliberate exclusion of diversity and inclusivity, which was completely debunked. You can check out the video for more details. I mentioned how none of this even mattered. The true reason behind the attack was the fact that Black Myth Wukong was a game that deliberately distanced itself from inserting any political propaganda or ideological bullshit into the game. It was neither a quote-unquote woke game nor an anti-woke game. It was just a fun action game trying to tell us a mythical story rich in Chinese mythology and literature. And most of all, it was a game from a studio that famously turned down Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement, or more like extortion, for $7 million. I also mentioned how Sweet Baby Inc. gets into some of their projects by intimidating studios and publishers that if they don't hire them, then the cancel culture mob will come for them. This is why Black Myth Wukong was attacked so relentlessly by these parasites. And now Kotaku and IGN are trying to light a fire under Space Marines 2, another game that is deliberately trying to stay out of any political or ideological bullshit by simply being a game solely focused on the story, the lore, the world building, and of course fun and gruesome combat. Trust me guys, it's perfectly safe to play this game. You are not going to be turned into a righty nor a lefty. You're just going to have a good fucking time. I reiterate, just like Black Myth Wukong, this is neither a woke game nor an anti-woke game. This game is basically Switzerland. It's neutral. In fact, it's not even like Switzerland because that would imply that there's a big war going on when in reality there really isn't. The only thing going on is that we have a bunch of fucking parasites trying to take over the gaming industry with their political bullshit just because they are self-absorbed narcissists drunk on power with a false savior complex and a vibrant hatred of gamers. And then alongside them are these other parasites that took over the games and entertainment media outlets who have the fucking balls to make articles acting like they care so much about the medium, and how games that don't force politics, lectures, or regime-approved messages like Black Myth Wukong, and in this case right here Space Marines 2 as well, are bad and are causing divides and infighting in the communities and are keeping people out and this and that and the other, when in reality they are the actual ones causing these divides by doing exactly the same thing that they were just caught doing right now, trying to set fires with purposeful misrepresentation and bias, specifically aimed towards manipulating the narrative into being something that it's not. First, we got this moron from Kotaku straight up saying that the comment reads like anti-woke crusader slop. Why? What about this statement is anti-woke? You got a man claiming that his intent with Space Marines 2 was a throwback game to old school action games. He claims he cannot comprehend many of the current games of today as they are too complex and too much of an investment, and how he believes that you can make a really good addicting game with basic mechanics, something you can totally disagree with if you want. He's not attacking any game specifically, nor making a prescription to how all games should get done. He's just sharing his personal opinion. Is it right? Is it wrong? It doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's not political nor influential. He has the right to try and focus on more simplistic game design to create stuff like Space Marines 2, and other developers have the right to go nuts and make riskier shit like Red Dead Redemption 2, Baldur's Gate 3, or even weird experimental stuff like Death Stranding, or smaller kinds of games like narrative-driven stuff, puzzle games, detective games, etc. That's what was so beautiful in this industry before parasites like these started manufacturing controversies and making people feel bad to express their opinions on what games they like, what games they dislike, and what games they want to see more of. At the end of the day, the sales will speak for themselves. If something is successful, it will be pursued in the future, and if something is unsuccessful, it will get shut down in less than 2 weeks.
I shouldn't have said that.
He then says that he hopes that Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a reversion to a simpler time of games being just about fun and immersion. Please, Mr. IGN and Mr. Kotaku, can you please tell me, no, please, can you please enlighten me on what the fuck is wrong with this sentence? Can you please enlighten me with your vast sources of knowledge on what video games should be if not fun and immersive? My DMs are open from Monday to Monday. I will be eagerly awaiting your very insightful replies. Finally, he expressed frustration at seeing games with overblown messaging or imposing morals on gamers, and that what they want is just glory kills and getting the heart rate up a little bit, and that for him, that's what games should be about. And he is absolutely right. Obviously, there is a space for all kinds of different games within this medium. It doesn't have to be strictly about glory kills or violence or adrenaline. You can literally be playing fucking Minecraft and having the time of your life building a little town for you and your friends. But at the end of the day, if there is one thing that is absolutely constant and solid, it's the fact that overblown messaging and morality lessons have no space in fiction in general, meaning games, movies and TV shows. If you're doing some nerdy fictional fantasy or sci-fi thing, then keep it out, because it has no place there. You're not supposed to be passing real-life political messaging and other similarly assorted bullshit into a video game. You're supposed to be creating entertainment. If you're not a creative and you're more of a political activist, then you're simply in the wrong business, because this kind of stuff just does not sell here. It wasn't wanted in movies, it wasn't wanted in TV shows, it wasn't wanted in Marvel, it wasn't wanted in Star Wars, it's not wanted in Lord of the Rings, and it most assuredly is not wanted in video games either. So either find a compromise to do it measuredly and moderately, in ways that don't literally break the player out of a game to preach to them, and in ways that don't take over an industry, or get used to your games flopping. And don't expect shit like BlackRock or certain government funds like Canada with Robin Hood and Norway with Dustborn to keep bailing you out, because a very important lesson to remember in all of this is that they do not care about the message. And by the way, neither do other major publishers in the industry hiring Sweet Baby Inc. or creating their own DEI divisions. They don't care about the message, they don't care about the ideology, and they 100% do not care about you. You are a gamble that they're taking because of the current political climate advising them to do so. So as soon as this starts cutting a hole in their pockets, they're going to pull out faster than Anyway, so for more details on this, you can check out my video on DEI policies and how they don't work, neither for entertainment nor for a healthy society in general. Nothing that the commenter said, whether or not he is a developer, was either wrong or inflammatory or political. It was just a statement of facts and his personal tastes in games and what he misses and wishes to create more of. And most of all, it is so incredibly down to earth and relatable that it garnered a ton of positive attention from all kinds of different people who want the same thing: good media, untouched by political activists. It doesn't matter if they're left-wing messaging or right-wing messaging, they end up breaking immersion and detracting from the actual story, the characters, the world building, and the general quality of a product that is meant to provide escapism and distraction. IGN and Kotaku, both dwindling outlets that have already lost their respect, credibility and integrity a long time ago, by the way, see this shit and immediately start the process of gaslighting the public with mentions of anti-woke crusades and controversial comments, trying to get a statement from Saber Interactive immediately and then bitching about how they haven't been replied to yet. Let me put this into perspective for both of you in case this video ever reaches you. Number 1. Having senior reporter attached to Kotaku doesn't mean shit to anyone anymore. Same goes for the IGN news director. You've already cooked yourselves by exposing time and time again what it is that you actually do. You don't report news, you fabricate shit and incite controversy. You have an agenda that you stick to so consistently that there are visible patterns of. So, number 2, nobody on this planet owes you a fucking reply in regards to a damn thing, especially considering the fact that what you're fishing for is a reason to aggravate the attack that you already started. And even if the company would reply with something completely innocent, you already shown yourselves capable of doing whatever the fuck you want with it in order to twist it and generate more controversy. And number 3, kindly fuck off with your disingenuous bullshit and internalize that your positions of power in this industry have been completely diminished by no one other than yourselves, through years and years of biased reporting, lies, attacks on your own audiences, and quite frankly, terrible biased reviews. Though this obviously is not news anymore, game journalist reviews have been so fucking terrible for so long that I have been able to see Angry Joe and other independent reviewers that created their accounts so that the fucking public could actually have some insightful game reviews aging right in front of my very own eyes. And no amount of statements like these claiming that we can like Space Marines 2 and want more games like it without pretending they are under siege by shadowy cancel culture cabals are going to change the fucking fact that your very own reports literally prove that they are under siege by cancel culture cabals. The same cancel culture cabals that Kim Belair, CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., uses to intimidate people into letting their company influence their games for a tight little profit on the side.
Fucking hell.
I mean, fucking hell. The same cancel culture that just tried to end several YouTube channels like Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Kinnell, Heel vs Babyface, Star Wars Theory, etc. over criticizing The Acolyte. Who are we kidding here? It's just that these cabals are finally losing their power and now you are trying to pretend that this is not the fucking reality that we have all been living under for the last few years, predominantly visible in film and TV shows, and now extremely visible in the gaming space, especially this year. And lastly, if you actually believe the single fucking word of what you just said here, then you would have taken no issue whatsoever with the comment that was posted, as it was literally just stating that they like games like Space Marine 2 and want more games like it, with more focus on immersion and fun and less focus on abrupt messaging and morality lessons, which, if there is no shadowy cancel culture cabal at all, then why would this statement even be relevant enough for parasites like yourselves to try and get the pathetic rotting wheels of cancel culture spinning again, asking for further comments and actions from the company, for you to twist and mangle into a heinous thing the same way you did a comment expressing a personal taste? The truth is that Game Science and Saber Interactive are doing exactly what everyone in their position should do. Don't feed these opportunistic vultures, you owe them nothing. Just let the quality of your games speak for themselves. And don't be afraid of expressing yourselves. Another thing that I dearly miss in this industry is how game developers were allowed to be fans as well, and hang out with their communities, and express themselves freely, and be nerdy alongside us. Which is something that we lost. Hell, worse than lost. It got twisted and mangled ideologically as well. If a developer makes a basic statement like this that is completely bereft of any political BS and not attacking anyone at all, these fucking parasites immediately go on the offensive. Meanwhile, directors, developers and actors directly attacking gamers and calling them misogynistic or racist are not only given a pass, but they are further encouraged by these same media outlets. So again, I repeat myself, kindly fuck off. That's it from me on this one. If you liked the video, please drop a little like down below and subscribe for more. It would really help me out. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, no, I'm joking. See you guys on the next one.